I got a hot tip for you on how you can be seen, some great content, and it's easy. You're going to love me for this one. So if you like this kind of idea, subscribe below. Let's get at it. I'm Kathy Burns, and I'm here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, and I've got one that I know works. Have you thought about interviewing local companies that are in your area? Because when you do that, man, do you create a buddy. So for example, I'm part of a BNI group, and so I started it when I was doing it with my BNI group, because they all had individual businesses. They were small business owners. Even if it was a franchise that they'd bought, they were still a small business owner, right? So for example, we have a guy named George, and he does college applications and getting kids into college, and he helps them figure out, they do testing to figure out what he really wants, even though he doesn't know. It helps figure it all out in a personality profiling test, and then finds the colleges that match that, and then helps get grants. Well, that was pretty strong, right? So I said, George, can I interview you about all that? And he goes, sure. So we got our little tripod set up, and we did it at my office one day. And at that time, I just had one mic between us. Now I use these little dual mics where one of us has got one and the other one's got the other, right? And it gives better clarity, which is good. Your sound is very important. You can use an iPhone. You can set it up on a little tripod away from you so that you're both in the picture, which is smart. And then you got your little mics on. They're cheap. You can go on Amazon, you'll see. And so now you start interviewing them. You have some questions planned. Say, George, what would be the highlights of what you'd like to talk about? And you're not keeping it very long. You know, maybe it's 3-4 minutes, because they're not reels, but you could take clips out of them. You know, YouTube Shorts at the 3 minutes is a popular thing right now. And Opus Clip takes a longer video and cuts it up in beautiful little clips. Anyway, George was loved it so much. He was so excited about it. He actually put it on his website, and I think it sits there today. Well, I got traffic on it because I'm Kathy Burns, the realtor, local, right? So you're getting double whammies for it. See why this makes sense? I did it with our State Farm insurance gal, did the commercial insurance for us in the group. Man, she was great. And we talked about Airbnbs and the type of insurance that you'd have, which was a great topic because we live on a lake and there's a lot of Airbnbs on it. So having that conversation really opened up a lot of eyes to people who had those, who did not have the right kind of insurance, and they were vulnerable. So do you see what I'm saying? There's a trend here. So you just start looking through people that maybe are your clients or not your clients, people that you'd like to be your clients. I also went to the local dry cleaners and I said, hey, you've got like 4 dry cleaners in the area. I'd love to interview you, because you know what? When new people come to the area, they're looking for a dry cleaner. She goes, great. And I did little YouTubes on that. She loved it. And she told me and all her friends, and she would say, everybody needs to go to Kathy Burns. She's the best realtor around. Well, she didn't know I was the best realtor. She just knew that I promoted her. You know, one time I got a $5 million listing. I waited 12 years to get it. I originally met this woman through a Groupon, and I went to her store because she did beads. And she was the bead necklace lady. She sold all kinds of beads. And we were sitting there chatting as we're building my little necklace. And she told me how she just bought this big mansion on the lake, and it was incredible. And she got it, I think, through a short sale or foreclosure, I'm not sure which, and loved it. And I said, boy, someday I'm going to want to list that house if you ever move out of there. And so what I noticed about her was that she had this cool store. So I did a video about her store, and then I would do videos about her sales. And I said, keep me informed of all the little stuff that you want to promote. And because I had created a Facebook page, you may want to do this, called 365 Things to Do Around Lake Norman. That's where we live. And I always put things that were going on. And when she had a sale, I put that in there as well. I put all kinds of stuff in there. I got tons of followers because of that page, and I never promoted anything that had to do with me. I think maybe once in a while I did an open house in there, but I didn't want to start that. I also had total control of it, so nobody could post in there, not one thing without me. I did all the posting. They could tag me, and I could decide, did I want to let you in? And I did a lot of them, but not some. So anyway, and that's a good idea too. So think about doing stuff like that where you can be of service to the area. Now, I did say that I was the host of that. I did say where you could reach me, and I did say what I did. But that was it. It was in the beginning of that post. 365 things to do around Lake Norman. You could look it up. Anyway, so I eventually, 12 years into our relationship of knowing her, which through that time, I think she gave me 3 or 4 different properties to help her buy and sell, which was great. And finally the day came and she said, we're going to sell the big one. I go, great. And she gave it to me. I sold that for cash in 11 days, full price with the marketing that I do. So you may want to listen to some other videos, see how I do some marketing, because I can help you. Well, anyway, I'm going to tell you that BNI chapter loved me because I did all those people in there. And of course, people come and go. So I would get different vendors that would come in, and I got tons of business because I gave to them. Now, I didn't do it with the sole purpose of just trying, well, what are you going to give me? That's never the goal. Give, give, give. And I gave. And I would go around town. I wouldn't go to a Starbucks, but would I go to a privately little owned coffee shop? Yes, I would. Talk to them about how they got started, what makes their place special. And I would try and come in on a Saturday morning when it was full of people so that we would see the place, because that adds it too. The special restaurants in the area that are the locals love, all kinds of things like that. You know what I mean? So start thinking of your list, and don't say you don't like how you look on there. Stop. I'm 74 years old. Are you? I'm sure you look better. So just do it. Think about it. Start writing down some of the cool places in town. Find the owner's name. Stop in. That's better than calling them. Stop in. And if you frequent someplace on a regular basis, that's another good one too. They're going to know that you're in there all the time, that you're legit. And if you haven't, do it. Start to be the guy that helps promote them. Do some business in there if you can. Like if it's a little coffee shop, just set up shop in there. You're going to get to be known. People are going to know you. They're going to trust you more. Things like that. These are little things that you can just do in your day. And you say, well, I don't have time to do that. Well, you got to time block it, right? So time blocking is important. Like me, every Wednesday is the day that I do all my recordings where I do videos like this. I do my podcasts ahead of time. I try and do videos like this ahead of time so that I'm ahead of the schedule. So because we put out 2 videos every week that are not podcasts, and 1 podcast every week. That's 3 videos a week, plus all the shorts. And you want to know what? I'm seen. You want to know who gets business? The one who's seen. You want to know who doesn't? The one who's invisible. So make a choice. Come on. Don't be invisible. Forget about this whole look. Forget about it. Just be you. This is what you look like. Just be natural and casual about it. Don't be stiff. Just have a casual conversation with people. It doesn't have to be, all forced. Just say, hey, what would you like me to talk about with your business? If you and I were just sitting having a drink together, what would we say if I was going to ask you some questions? Let's think about it that way. Get them relaxed. Get them their own little mic. Like I said, you put their mic on, your mic on. The camera's going. You may want it even where you do 2 cameras going at the same time. One's coming at that angle and one's coming at that angle, so that you can kind of edit it through CapCut. You can edit it through CapCut, which is, I think you pay a little bit for it, but even YouTube has editing features. But when you're doing those 2 different things, that's a cool feature too. And that way both of you are getting it. You can figure it out. And if you have to look just dead on, just do it dead on. Find out what's going to work. Just do it. You're going to be happy you did. You're going to get more business from it, and schedule it out. Maybe you do it Saturday mornings. Maybe you do it Mondays, whatever day you figure you will do it consistently. Just do it consistently. Make these recordings. If you just do 1 a week, that's a start. I'm a little obsessed because I really want to be seen bad. I want to spread who I am faster. So that's why I'm doing it. But you don't have to. Just do 1 a week. But it has to be consistent. If you do it on, let's say, Facebook, great. Make sure it gets shared to Instagram. If you do it on Instagram, make sure it gets shared to Facebook. And I'm going to encourage you to consider LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a tool and a half, people. And there's a lot of business builders there. And if you want to be a business builder, hang out there. It's a smart move. All right, that's it for this week. So if you like this, subscribe below, share it with your friends, make some comments. Love to hear them. And we'll see you on the next one.